Hi all, and welcome to this course on unit testing with C# and XUnit. Now, the aim of this course is to provide a strong foundation of unit testing, which includes the likes of conventions, assertions, what you should test, when you should test, and what constitutes a good and a bad test. So, if we dive right into it, we can ask the question of why do we actually write tests? And there are a lot of reasons why you should write tests, but I've kind of picked out the main ones for me. Just confidence is the first one. And that's because automated testing provides you with the confidence that every time you've made a change to your code, that you haven't broken any other functionalities. And you can imagine that in a large code base, you change something that is seemingly trivial and has major repercussions. A good test suite, and therefore good unit tests, allow us to avoid this, or help us to avoid this. The second reason is speed. And a unit test by definition will run very, very quickly. It's an automated test and it should execute in a fraction of a second. It's magnitude faster than the likes of manual testing, where you could think that any change would take minutes or potentially hours to go through for a human to go through it. And it's also, because of this, it's quicker to find errors. A failing unit test should be able to quickly tell you what went wrong and where it went wrong. And that's an immensely powerful thing to have in your arsenal when you're writing software. That's a bit of an overview of what this course is about and why we write tests. There's a few things this course won't cover though, and I'll quickly go over them. We won't cover any other form of testing. Any other form of testing is integration testing, UI testing, and things like that. This is only focused on unit testing. We're not going to be covering test-driven development, which is an approach where you write your test and as soon as that test fails, then you write a bit of code to change it and fix it. That's a completely different set of parameters and completely different set of skills, which we won't be covering in this course. And finally, the basics of C#. This is focused mainly on XUnit, so I would expect that you know the basics of C# and how the language works. Don't come this as a complete beginner to program. Prerequisites, we need a computer, you need an IDE. This course will be done in Rider, but everything I'm doing here will also be available in Visual Studio and essentially any other good IDE. And as mentioned before, you should also be comfortable with C#. You don't need to be an expert by any stretch of the imagination, but you should be very comfortable with classes, objects, and functions at the very least. Knowledge of interfaces will be extremely useful later in the course when we start looking at how to mock external dependencies. And if you're ready to go, well, let's get started and join me in the next video where we'll dive into the project setup. And thanks for watching.